Good morning, folks. This is Spirit Journey. Yes, it's early in the morning. It's August 3rd, 2020, and the time, as you see, is about 4:46 a.m. in the morning. I went to bed early last night, and so usually that means I'm going to wake up early. So I've been up around an hour or so and going through videos on YouTube. And again, I'm reminded about a system. With this virus thing going around, the BLM, Black Lives Matter, and I'm seeing a pattern. At least I like to think that it's another pattern repeating itself. Because nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. I feel it's just history repeating itself. The Black Lives Matter, yes, Black lives do matter. And I kind of touched on this subject before. But watching these videos a moment ago, it's really reinforcing to me that there's something up. And to not be sucked in to the drama. I think all this stuff that you see are distractions. Because it's another major shifting going on. Social system shift. And they're using the excuse regarding Black lives. Not to get confused with the Black Lives Matter or BLM organization. Two separate issues. You have BLM, the organization, Black Lives Matter, and then you have the concept that the lives of Black people matter. Two separate things. I'm focused here on the organization. I'm talking here about the rioting that's happening, from protests to rioting to physical violence. That you have people who are exploiting valid issues regarding the lives of Black people and other what they call racial minorities. Valid issues that are happening. But these are, I'm just reminded that these are distractants to pull you away, to make you look and be preoccupied about the rioting and the valid protests that you see. It's the changing of the guards that's happening. And the excuse is the lives of Black people in the United States of America. Nothing ever really seems to get better. On one level, you see more Black people, Black celebrities in the media, and you see the wealth of many. And then I start to, the videos that I was watching had me look at, I said, isn't this what it might have looked like 150 plus years ago, when you had the, the anti-slavery movement in the United States, a valid movement, but who is primarily running the show back then? The abolitionists. Most of those abolitionists were white. And through their politics, they utilized black people, innocent black people who just want to be free, who just want to be able to walk, minding their own business, but have to present paperwork that they really are free. And the movement picked up. And then you have a major war, a civil war. It is a war so big that it is the largest amount of casualties in American history. And yes, the institution of slavery that we know it in those days did end, but it did not correct the lives and the safety of black people. And so that's what this video is about, that you had a valid issue about slavery, chattel slavery, about the well-being of black people, but the abolitionist movement was primarily run by northern whites. And even though northern whites, at one time, the institution of slavery was in the northern states. It was. It was along the whole east coast of United States of America. And so, you look at outcome. What happened to the lives of black people then and now, 2020? What do you really see? Black people are being used for the media, the consumption of media about some social event. The lives of black people, again, being put on display to traumatize people. It's not really about the lives of black people, about the safety of black people, because again, it's history revisiting itself on our livelihood. We're also being consumed with the lives of the rich. Now, I was just watching, I started watching yesterday, videos on celebrities and the homes that they live. And I started to get really turned off about some of the celebrities, people of color celebrities. And I feel anger. Now, hard work is hard work. And you have individuals who work hard. But what did they work hard at doing? They worked hard at being the bad boy or the bad girl public image. Excessive cursing, violence, all types of behavior. And then what you see, extreme wealth. And I look at the ones and their net value. And it seems like the people who are making the most amount of money are the ones that display themselves in a questionable way. And that it seems to be encouraging people of color, that if you act like a gangbanger, a tramp, potty mouth, you will be rewarded. And you will be rewarded kindly. The sizes of their home, the opulence. My mouth dropped with some of the people's homes that they have. some of them were newly, new on the scene, and have a net worth, one of them, over 20-something million dollars. And it just really just started out. And I was just like, wow. I just saw the person for the first time just 2 years ago. And so you start, so what's happening now? So you have a changing of the guards. They want you preoccupied with some of the people of color / black people. They're being taught, create something that displays you in a negative fashion, like a gangster, a druggie, a potty mouth. But then all of a sudden you're considered good because now you have properties, and the money's just rolling in and rolling in. So everybody's looking to be like them, to copy them. So they would have the opulence also. But some of them is short-lived. Some of them don't last long enough to enjoy the money because they get thrown in prison, they may die prematurely, etc. It's a price to pay for fast wealth. It's a price to pay. So we were looking at these rich, new celebrities. Some of them been around for a while. And they're discounting their dough and their properties. And you have people who don't even have one property. And they're struggling just to keep their head above water, just to find an apartment, a rental. And you have people who are flipping houses like they're flipping burgers. And how they got it. How they got it. So it's like teaching people, you be this way, you'll be invited to parties. You'll be able to rub elbows with other people and be invited to parties that are questionable. Because remember, like there's usually the after party, the after parties, and what they're really doing behind closed doors. Why are these new celebrities building opulent-sized homes? And they may have just one child. And you just start to wonder, why is something so big? Who has all those kids? I mean, all those, to fill up a home. So I start thinking about these parties that they're having. And for the Billionaires Club, and listening to them, and it's about topping each other. Topping each other. The bigger, the better. But they're not happy. It's like, wow, they live in this, these homes almost sizes of buildings. And to some reports, they don't even live in them. So it's like I'm getting frustrated that you have people who are living on the streets who just want a little place, just this place to lay their head. And wealth is just being thrown around for people to see. And again, this is a distraction. And so while we're watching these social media events, and now we're watching about the COVID, and some of us are locked in our homes. We can't go out. And then you have the politics also with the racial issues. So you have health and social issues all happening around the same time. They're both feeding on each other for strength to pull our nation down. I'm afraid for my country, America, the United States of America. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. A place where ugly things happen, though. I love my country, but I don't love what's going on. I don't like to see games being played and seducing of the black people in America and encouraging us to do certain behaviors, not really speaking out of these organizations that use the plight of black people, pretend that you're on their side, but it's really about taking over America. You have people outside of your group pretending that they represent you, but are doing acts of violence, burning down communities, displaying weapons, but the lives and the quality of black life is not improving. But it is improving for those people who are doing horrific behaviors, stigmatizing the lives of decent black people who just want to live a decent, clean, and moral lifestyle. It's being taken away. We're being deceived, and it just like I think 150 plus years ago, that black people are again in the middle of politics that they didn't even control or initiate, yet it's said to be about us, but we're really not the ones driving our lives forward, but someone else is just using our presence, our image, for a political agenda. Stop using us for political agendas. I'm sick of it. They're trying to take away and destroy our country, to initiate a communist dictatorship, an oppressive regime, taking away your liberties and freedoms through this virus. So there's two plays. They're using race and they're using the virus to control our nation. And I think it's all by design. And I'm very sad about this. Let's see through the hype. Let's stop utilizing and exploiting the hardships that many black people face. Let's cut the nonsense out. And true freedom for all Americans. I thank you. You need to look through the lies and really discern what's really, really going on. The proof is in the pudding.